everybody, I'm Mykal Marie, and today I'm going to tell you about how I started making one of the best builds for Necromancer in Diablo 4. But first, let me tell you about how I accidentally fell into such a very bold claim. So, when I started Diablo 4, I went into it like many of you, very naive and doe-eyed and eager to start my new journey, and I've never been one to do any form of research into mechanics and any of this. I am very much so a person who just dives into a game and I figure it out as I go. And I'm normally pretty good at that. With some occasional trial and erring, I can pick things up pretty easily, which is exactly what I did here. I started the game and I went. That was my mistake. At first, everything was great. I had my undead bro army. I was wiping out mobs left and right without having to even heal. I was throwing my skill points in willy-nilly, just trying whatever I wanted to and see what came from it. I was even able to beat several lowly bosses that I stumbled upon, because why not? I was becoming a menace to the map, and with each win I got more and more ballsy that I decided, at a very low level mind you, to follow the main quest, which you just don't do in these types of games. And so I go into that dungeon to follow Lilith with Vinard, the woman's mom. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Someone tell me.
She had horns like a beast, strode right past where you stand.
And most of it was easy peasy. I was making light work of the mobs. They were my bitches. And with the help of my undead bro army, of course. And then I got to Vinard, or Vineyard.
Mother, stop! Look at what Lilith has done to you. You're writing in your own blood.
You have
My
chalk
little
like right
magpie.
over there.
She awakened me.
And this becomes my very first slice of humble pie since starting the game. Before this, I was on cruise control, and now she has me learning a freaking manual. Death after death after death after death. Me and the boys start faltering. I'm swapping armor, I'm trying different maneuvers, but time and time and time again, I'm flashed back to the beginning of the fight in front of the stupid Healy thing just to rub it in my face a little bit more. But I keep pushing and getting better. I get so close multiple times that I can taste it. I'm on the last round. But then I notice at every point at the very end, when she's got about this much health left, or her monsters or whatever it is that I'm actually fighting here has this much health left, I get zapped by lightning, blood lightning in the air. And it's a one-hit KO every time. So I'm fuming whenever I realize this is actually impossible. I do what any good gamer does in that situation would do. I walk away, I go eat some food, and I go and I vent to all my friends about how I am trapped in this dungeon. But Mykal, why don't you just try and do some side quests? But Mykal, why don't you just try and actually level up? Blah, 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 blah. No. You see, I'm stubborn. I don't listen to that stuff. I went into that one island on Skyrim after Skyrim launched many years later. It came out with that one island with the big scary Cthulhu dragons at way too low of a level because I didn't know any better, because everything else in Skyrim is based off of what your level currently is, but not that island. That island had a level thing. And I just stubborn my way through it. I'm usually the unstoppable force meets the immovable object with that kind of stuff. And I wasn't going to let this game be any different. But I did know that I needed to do something. So I stayed up that night and I researched every Diablo 4 Necromancer best build. And that's why I can come to you with this claim and tell you this, because I looked at them all and I tested them all. So here's what you need to know whenever you're making a Necromancer build. First things foremost, you gotta take care of your undead bro army. Anywhere that you see a slot really that says skeletal, insert whatever, skeletal warrior, skeletal mage, that's where you want to beef up your skills because your bros have always got your back. I understand there is a Necromancer build that has nothing to do with your undead army, but what's the point of a Necromancer then if you don't have an army of dead people following you around? That's what I say, at least. The next thing you want to know is you want every single passive perk you can. So the bone spears and all of those, beef them up. Those are going to take care of you and they help more than what they imply on the little sheet of paper that you get about it. That 2% is what really makes the difference in helping, because given that vulnerability for 2 seconds on a monster that's this big and you're this big helps. And the final one, at least for this boss while you're starting into this, is you want Iron Maiden. All Iron Maiden does is take all of that extra vulnerability and really hyper fixate it on the things that you're whacking at. Which is great whenever you have a two-headed weapon and you can just go whoosh whoosh in a big crowd. So I did it. I took all of my skill points that I had just casted away like I was part of the 1% club here. Got a refund on everything and started putting those points to use. I went in and I did what I needed to do. And that got me back to her. Vineyard. Her. And I went into that fight and instantly noticed a difference. I wiped out the first 2 rounds like there wasn't even a problem. And then I get so far into the fight, I had no idea the big giant dude shows up more than once. I had never survived long enough. In fact, it started happening enough that I was actually kind of sweating because I had to use a potion finally the first time in that whole fight. And it goes and goes and goes, and it lasts not even a second. And I'm done. I was ready to record 2 more hours of fighting and prepping and trial and erroring. But no, those just one little things on the builds is what made the difference. So that's it. That's how I stumbled into accidentally making the start of a great Necromancer build, and it's how you should do it too. Well, if you like that and you want to see the rest of my struggles and hopefully gains, go ahead and follow, comment, like, share. Tell me that I should probably get better at games, whatever it is that you really want to do. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!